Each morning, tens of millions of us awaken, grasp our phones, and without delay start scrolling via a sea of notifications, messages, and updates. It's the first issue we do, almost instinctively, as if our smartphones hold the secret to beginning the day proper. But here's something startling. A current look at located that this habit, this harmless check-in with the digital international, can skyrocket our attention ranges by means of 30% earlier than we even depart our beds. This isn't only a system in our arms, it is a gateway to a daily stress check we didn't sign up for. Today, we're diving deep into how modern-day technology addiction isn't just changing the way we communicate, it is essentially altering our mental fitness, reshaping our well-being, and why it's essential to understand this impact to navigate our virtual lives better. Stick around as we explore actionable strategies to reclaim our peace of mind and maybe even our sanity in a world where being constantly connected is often more a curse than a convenience. If you respect what we are unpacking here, a simple, free choice I will ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and share this video with someone who could benefit from this content. Let's go. You don't need wealth to find happiness. This isn't a new idea but is rooted deeply in Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us the art of happiness isn't found in our bank accounts but within ourselves. Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius argued that true happiness comes from self-acceptance, virtue, and focusing on what's within our control, instead of outside possessions or popularity. Think about it. How often have we heard stories of lottery winners or the ultra-wealthy who become no happier than the average person? It's because happiness derived from wealth is fleeting. Wealth can buy comfort, yes, but comfort is not equal to happiness. Stoicism teaches us to seek happiness through self-mastery and inner peace, not through acquiring more. It's about appreciating what you have and realizing that desires for more can lead to a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. This is the Stoics' warning against linking wealth directly to our happiness. The Stoic attitude encourages us to reevaluate our priorities. It asks us, what really enriches our lives? Often, it's the intangibles, relationships, experiences, personal growth that bring us real joy. These are the aspects of life that resist the ups and downs of financial fortunes. By decoupling our sense of self-worth from our net worth, we open up the potential to experience contentment with less, to find richness in the simplicity and authenticity of a life not centered around material gain. So how can we start to detach our happiness from our financial status? It starts with a shift in attitude. Each day, take moments to reflect on small blessings and cultivate gratitude for what you already have, rather than lamenting what you don't. Practice mindfulness to stay present and not get swept up in the endless pursuit of more. These steps don't just reduce financial stress, they enhance your life with a deeper sense of fulfillment that no amount of money could buy. Embracing this Stoic principle may not change your financial situation overnight, but it will change the way you feel about it, and that's an important step toward a happier, more contented life. This is probably a bit uncomfortable, but it's a vital step if we're to embrace a more Stoic way of life. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and one thing we absolutely can control is how we respond to the actions of others and to the circumstances we find ourselves in. Blaming others is an easy out. It allows us to dodge responsibility and, perhaps more importantly, it lets us avoid making hard changes in ourselves. But here's what the Stoics would say: external events aren't within our control, but our reactions to them surely are. Marcus Aurelius constantly emphasized the power of our internal responses. He believed that peace comes not from controlling your environment but from controlling your reactions. When you blame others, you give away your power. You're saying that your happiness and well-being are dependent on the actions of others or on the circumstances of life. That is the opposite of what Stoicism teaches. Stoics strive for self-sufficiency in the realm of emotions. They work to cultivate a state of inner peace that doesn't depend on external factors such as other people's actions. So what's the practical application here? Begin by recognizing moments when you're tempted to blame others. Ask yourself, what part did I play in this situation? How can I handle this better in the future? This isn't about self-blame, but about reclaiming your power by taking responsibility for your own role in your experiences. Moving from blame to responsibility can profoundly impact your personal and professional relationships. It fosters a mindset of seeking solutions rather than pointing fingers. This is far more constructive. Imagine a work environment where instead of blame, there's a culture of ownership and proactive problem solving. That's the kind of shift that embracing this Stoic habit can lead to. This change won't happen overnight. It requires patience, practice, and persistence. But every step you take toward stopping the blame and taking responsibility is a step toward a more empowered and emotionally resilient life. The Stoics knew this well, and it's just as relevant today in our modern interconnected lives. We're social creatures, after all. We want to be liked, to fit in, to be part of the community. But here's where Stoicism brings a powerful counterpoint. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius argued that our first duty is to ourselves, to our own reason and judgment. Epictetus particularly was very clear about the importance of focusing on our own behavior and judgment, rather than getting entangled in the opinions and approval of others. He believed that true freedom comes from within, not from external validations. When you live to please others, you are essentially placing your happiness in their hands. You adjust your actions, suppress your true thoughts, and sometimes go against your own values to gain approval or avoid disapproval. But according to Stoic wisdom, this is a direct path to dissatisfaction and turmoil. You end up living a life that is not truly yours, one that is dictated by the judgments and expectations of others. So how do we break free from this addiction? It starts with a simple but profound shift in mindset. Begin valuing your own approval above everyone else's. This means getting clear on your values, principles, and goals. What matters to you the most? What kind of person do you want to be? These are not questions you answer just once. They require continuous reflection and honesty. Another practical step is setting boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to say no when things don't align with our internal values. This is not about being dismissive, but about respecting yourself enough to prioritize your needs and peace of mind. Remember, it's not selfish to put yourself first, it's necessary for true happiness and integrity. Embracing this Stoic habit also means being prepared for some fallout. Not everyone will understand or respect your newfound independence, and that's okay. Stoicism doesn't promise a life without conflict. It promises a life where you are at peace with your choices because they truly reflect who you are. Stopping the addiction of living to please others isn't about disregarding the feelings or needs of people around you. It's about ensuring that the choices you make are fundamentally yours and that your life's path is something you choose, not something imposed upon you. Stoicism doesn't mean avoiding risk or change, rather, it promotes the courage to face them with wisdom and virtue. The Stoics believe that facing challenges head-on is not only a test of character but a necessary step in the pursuit of personal growth and fulfillment. Life's most rewarding experiences often come with a risk, whether it's changing careers, moving to a new city, starting a business, or even entering a new relationship. Each of these steps involves uncertainty and the potential for failure. But what Stoicism teaches us is that the outcome isn't what's most important, it's our response to it and what we learn from the process that counts. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the importance of facing adversity with bravery and clarity. He saw every challenge as an opportunity to exercise virtues like courage, resilience, and integrity. This perspective shifts our view of risk from something to be feared to something that is inherently valuable. It's an opportunity to demonstrate and deepen our character, to live more fully aligned with our values. Embracing risk doesn't mean being reckless. Stoicism isn't about throwing caution to the wind, it's about making well-considered decisions where the potential benefits outweigh the possible setbacks. It's about asking yourself, what's the best and worst outcome? Am I prepared to handle the worst? How can this move me closer to my goals? Stoics believe in using reason and wisdom to guide these decisions, not impulse or fear. By avoiding risks, you could be missing out on potential opportunities for success, happiness, and growth. Each time you step back from a risk, ask yourself if you're doing it out of genuine concern and logical reasoning or simply because you're afraid of what might happen if you fail. Remember, in Stoicism, the focus is on your inner virtues and staying true to them rather than on external outcomes. So let's challenge ourselves to step out of our comfort zones, to view risks as necessary steps on the path to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Moving on to habit 5, stop ignoring your budget. This habit challenges us to turn a stoic eye toward our financial life. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and your finances are a prime example of something within your grasp that, when managed properly, can lead to more personal freedom and security. Stoics believe in the importance of financial prudence, not for the sake of accumulating wealth but for the sake of achieving peace of mind and independence. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, argued that wealth should be used wisely to promote human virtue and happiness, not simply for self-indulgence or luxury. He saw financial responsibility as a means to greater personal freedom and the ability to live according to one's values. So how can we apply this Stoic principle to our modern financial habits? Start by creating and sticking to a budget. This isn't about restricting yourself, but about gaining clarity and control over your financial decisions. Track your income and expenses. Identify areas where you can reduce unnecessary spending and redirect those resources toward things that truly align with your values and goals. Practice delayed gratification. Stoicism teaches us to avoid impulsive purchases that provide fleeting pleasure but contribute little to long-term happiness or fulfillment. Instead, focus on investments in experiences, relationships, and personal development that yield lasting benefits. This doesn't mean avoiding all luxuries but rather being intentional about how you allocate your financial resources. Consider the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. Seneca famously practiced self-imposed periods of austerity to remind himself of the difference between wants and needs. This isn't about punishing yourself but about building resilience and appreciation for the simple pleasures in life. Finally, prioritize financial independence. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate a sense of self-sufficiency and autonomy. This means preparing for emergencies, saving for the future, and living below your means to avoid being dependent on others or external circumstances. By adopting these Stoic financial habits, you can build a more stable and fulfilling relationship with money. You'll gain the freedom to pursue your passions, support causes you believe in, and weather life's inevitable storms with greater resilience. Remember, it's not about accumulating wealth for its own sake, but about using your resources wisely to live a more virtuous and fulfilling life.